Alright, what's up guys? My name's Sam, and I'm a semi-competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. I haven't made a YouTube video in like a million years, but especially for my friends at my locals and for my team, everyone's kind of quarantined right now, or like social distancing, and so there hasn't really been a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, or like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh content. But something I've noticed is that a lot of people have expressed interest in playing Zoo, and I think especially for both newer players that have never played Zoo or weren't around during that format, and even returning players who are like unfamiliar with maybe the new interactions of Zoo with new cards. I think it's kind of good to do this kind of refresher video, and also just kind of like show, like from my mindset, how I think Zoo is effectively played and ran right now. So without further ado, let's get in the list. So for my list, I play 3 Whiptail, probably the second best Zoo behind Thoroughblade. I play 3 Ram. You just need to play a lot of Zoos just because Barrage that 1. 1 Rapier, Ripperoni, and 1 Bunny Blast. I think there's just a lot of interactions with Bunny Blast with like Chalice, and then Sky Striker's a really relevant matchup, I think. So being able to prevent your Zoo from being taken by Widow Anchor or targeted by Afterburn or something is pretty good. And then I play a lot of hand traps, very indicative of like old Zoo lists. I play 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Ghost Ogre, and 3 Imperms. This will probably change with more tournament play, but right now I think these are probably the most like basic hand traps. Like these ones are always like pretty effective against a wide myriad of decks. And then I think Ogre is very, very effective this format. Being able to take away your opponent's ability to link climb, I think, is very powerful. So that's those 9. Then for spells, we play the 1 Barrage, best card in the deck. 3 Tinky. I play a full suite of Pot of Desires. I find it to be pretty unimportant which Zoodiacs you actually banish. You can even banish whole playsets of them, and for the most part it largely doesn't matter. But Zoo is a very tempo-based deck, and so being able to go +1 while banishing relatively unimportant cards is very effective, and helps in the grind game. Plus, it helps you just see more interruptions against combo decks too. So, and it just helps bait negate. It just does everything. Like Pot of Desire should just, I think it should be ran at least 2 in this deck, but I think it's most effective at 3. I also play 2 Pot of Avarice. I'll show you a neat play. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen it, where you can get Pot of Avarice off turn 1 as long as you have either Thoroughblade or Rapier, and then another. And then with Thoroughblade, you just need any other Zoo monster. So. I play 2 Forbidden Chalice, half the reason of which is because I only have 2 ultis, but also this card is just really effective right now against, it can stop the Apex Avion Infinite loop, negates Winda, and in the mirror match it can help negate Trident so you can actually play. Last but not least for the traps, I went for really reactive traps, so I played 3 Compulse. I think this trap is going to be really, really strong. There's not a lot of cards that happen on summon that are like super impactful. Like Needle Fiber doesn't summon anything like super good by itself, and then everything else is not an on summon effect or summon. So like you can just use it to return their card. It's good drawing first or second against suppressive boards. So this card's just really, really strong. 2 Crackdown, same theory. It's just really good going first and it's really good going second. So I think it's a really effective card to play. The interesting thing about these cards too is that they out Winda and Conductor really easily because they don't have to be activated in a certain phase. They don't have to be activated. They don't have an activation prompt, and against Winda, all 5 of these don't destroy anything. So these are really good against like decks that might try to play destruction prevention like Orchist and shit all. And then the only trap I played that wasn't reactive was Solemn Judgment. If I had to play a trap that wasn't reactive, I wanted to play one that prevented me from just like getting blown out. And I think like Lightning Storm or something can be really effective against the deck for like hitting all the back rows, despite the fact that they're chainable. So like I wanted to play a card that just prevented me from losing outright. I don't know, with more testing and depending on like how the format shapes and like the popularity of Go Second decks, I might switch these for strikes in the main, but For now in testing, I'm playing Solemn Judgment. And last but not least, you play the one combo. It's a searchable Avarice, so it still has its niche use. And then we get into the extra is 3 Chaconine, probably the most important zoo now, next to Trident. 3 Tiger Mortar. I know a lot of people are making room in their extra deck for other things, but I just play like a very large zoo count because I just want to be able to grind with the Zoodiac monsters. I play 2 Borbo, 1 Hammer Kong. You generally always need like an in-between detach so that you can keep the effect monsters underneath for their effects and for their stats. So you want to play 2 of one of these, I think, and Borbo is kind of the slightly better one because you only need 1 Hammer Kong, and then you just keep bringing it back if you need it. And then Borbo helps in time, so you can attack directly if you need to. Last but not least, the Bay Trident. She's back, so you can play this deck without getting laughed at locals now. And then last but not least, I play Tornado. If you open Barrage, you can open like Trident Tornado. I don't know how good that is. I don't think there's a 15 card in this extra deck yet, but so that's still a little bit of theorying. This card is super good in the deck. Gravity Controller. It was played in the deck before. It's more effective now too with more Pot of Avarice. I'll show you in a sec. 1 Nightmare Phoenix. 1 Nightmare Cerberus. I don't really do a lot of link climbing with the deck because I don't want to trade my Zoodiac Seeds for other cards. I think that Trident with like a Whiptail underneath is better than most link monsters you can make. So I just wanted to play these for versatility and be able to deal with problems if I had any that I couldn't like particularly deal with, but otherwise I don't think you need to play a lot of link monsters in this deck. And then Firefighting Doom. It's synergized with Beast Warriors, so. Alright, so that's it for the deck profile.